What is going on, Gridiron Express listeners? We got a special guest on today. Really, two, if you want to say the Seahawks are a special guest. But everybody, welcome on the GOAT of any Madden league. He is my dad, and he has something to do with the food. Everybody, welcome on the Lemon himself.
What's up, guys? Happy to be a guest. Very happy to be here. Love this league, man. I'm so glad you guys made this podcast. Such a fantastic idea. I'm glad to be here.
Oh yeah, dude. And how you doing, Bengals? I mean, not Bengals, Chargers.
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I am doing amazing because I just watched the Flyers beat down on the Penguins.
Oh,
Um,
shut it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shut it.
anyways, so
Flyers.
I think Chargers kind of wanted to get into scores. So if you want to go ahead and start us out, and I'll kind of
hmm
pull up some stats as well that look interesting while you go.
hmm Also, to start off, before I do the scores, Raiders is not joining us today
Mm.
for reasons that you could check out in one of the chats. All right. So to start off, let's go to the Cowboys Panthers. Cowboys sort of pulled an upset, sort of did not. They won 35-16.
Mm.
They
That's tough for the
had
Panthers.
Yeah, the Cowboys had 155 rushing yards. Yikes.
Mm.
Um, Panthers had 332 passing yards. Pretty nice. Panthers had 14 first downs, 5 punt return yards, and pretty much 388 total yards
Yeah,
gained, etc., etc.
Cowboys, man, they're underrated, bro. You'll see my top 10 list later. I don't know, man. They were good, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And Panthers either threw for 4 interceptions or threw for Panthers threw
Cowboys are
for
probably going
four
to end up keeping the
interceptions.
Panthers out of the playoffs because of that game. I think that
Yeah,
game
that,
Yep.
kind of decided who's going to get that number 7 wildcard seed.
that would be tough.
But
Ezekiel Elliott had a monster game, 15 rush attempts for 150 yards. CeeDee Lamb had 1 rush attempt, 5 yards. Christian McCaffrey, 8 rush attempts for 22 yards. And moving on to the next game, we have the Dolphins and the Lions. Dolphins, not even surprisingly, winning at all. They won. Not surprising. 330 offensive yards gained, 114 rush yards, 216 pass yards, 14 first downs. The Lions had 218 pass yards, not a gap in the pass yards there. The Lions threw for 4 interceptions, and the Dolphins only threw for 1. No, they didn't throw for 1. It was a fumble. Trevor Lawrence did not have a good game at all. I mean, his completed passes to not complete are okay. Matt Breida, 13 rushes, 109 yards. Another solid
He's
game
been
by
good.
him.
Yeah.
Whoever Michael Canty is, 10 rushes for 24 yards. To Tunga Vailoa, he had 1 rush for 5 yards. And, yeah, moving on to the next game, if it loads. We got the Bengals and the Jets.
The Bengals.
Bengals surprisingly scoring 24 points. Yes, I just said surprisingly.
that's
It was
solid score for me. But
it was pretty much a fight for yards, really, as the Jets had 509 offensive yards, 167 rush yards, 342 pass yards. Yikes! And the Bengals had 400 offensive yards, 126 rush yards, 274 pass yards, 17 first downs. So I don't necessarily know how we lost, but anyways, Tyler Huntley threw for 351 yards, 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and excuse my voice crack that I just had. Joe Burrow threw for 279 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. Antonio Gibson, 10 rushes, 126 yards. Joe Mixon, 17 rushes, 118 yards. Tyler Huntley, 3 rushes, 37 yards. And that's pretty much all the worthiness from that game. The Eagles and the Washington football team.
Close
interesting
one.
game here. We got a little bit of an upset.
Philippe Franks played average, 243 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He got sacked once. He completed 12 passes out of 21 on anyone. And Brian Batten had 167 yards, 200 no, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and yeah. Darius Geis, 9 rushes, 77 yards.
I
Miles
hate to
Sanders, 7
interrupt.
rushes,
Do you guys hear my
66
brother? I'm
yards.
sorry if you do.
It's faint. Not a big deal.
That's fine. It's a great
Dude's
backup
being
noise.
so loud.
It's a great background noise. And the score of that game was 33-31.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's a forced win. We're not going to review that. We're not going to review that either. Let's find a game worthy of reviewing. All right. We got the Chargers, me, versus the Broncos. The Chargers, they had 376 offensive yards, 206 rush yards, 170 pass yards. The Broncos had 394 offensive yards gained, 178 rush, 216 pass, and Gus Edwards is a demon. Kellen Mond had 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 12 completed passes out of 19. Jacob Eason had 170 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interceptions, 59% completion percentage. Todd Gurley, 22 rush attempts, 202 yards.
Damn.
Gus Edwards, 10 rushes, 144 yards. And Kellen Mond, 2 rushes, 22 yards. Jaquan Hardy, whoever that is, 4 rush attempts, 12 yards. And yeah, that's the worthiness from that game. We'll review one more game here. We got the Saints and the Cardinals. Saints won 28-21. Pretty close game as it is. The Saints had 383 offensive yards gained, 149 rush yards, 234 pass yards, and the Cardinals, yikes. All I gotta say is yikes. Their offense absolutely sucked. 68 offensive yards gained, 50 rush yards, 18 pass yards.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, James Morgan had a 9.7 quarterback ranking.
How is this game even close?
I'm like laughing just looking at these stats. 5 completions for James Morgan out of 12 attempts, 41% pass completion percentage, 3 interceptions, and then Justin Herbert had 234 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, completed 19 out of 22. Alvin Kamara, 14 rushes, 116 yards. Travis Etienne, 7 rushes, 32 yards. Deshaun Cunningham, 5 rushes, 23 yards. Kenyon Drake, 1 rush, 15 yards. Justin Herbert, 1 rush, 11 yards. And that wraps it up for the game reviews as my throat is literally going dead right now.
Alrighty. I'll take the lead as we're going to go through some Player of the Week awards. So this week, or not this week, but last week, week 14, we saw big games from a couple of these players. So for the NFC offense, we had Mr. Miller himself from the Buccaneers. Very impressive game. 7 receptions, 230 reception yards, averaged about 32.9 reception yards, 3 touchdowns, a couple rushing yards as well, and a rushing TD. Very impressive in my opinion. And
Very
also
impressive.
on the defense is a Buccaneer, and his stats are pretty flat out good. 7 tackles and 5 interceptions. You don't see 5 interceptions from one player that often. You may see 5 interceptions by a defense, but by one player, that's very impressive.
Yeah, 5
And
interceptions
7
in a
tackles
season
in
is
there
like
as
pretty
well.
good.
So he had a very, very great game. Moving on to the AFC side of the league. AFC offense, the Chargers boy, Todd Gurley, made it on as Offensive Player of the Week for the AFC. He had 22 carries, 202 rushing yards, about two touchdowns, and 67 reception yards, so a lot of yards there that probably helped him out with 1 reception touchdown. Again, pretty impressive. And for the AFC defense from Cleveland, you got Delpit. I don't know his first name.
Grant
Delpit, right. 4 tackles, 2 picks, and a touchdown. A pick 6, I'm assuming that is. So, impressive games all around. I gotta say, Probably the most impressive was the NFC side. 5 picks
Yeah,
from one guy. Plus,
that's pretty crazy.
yeah, that was some good play by the Bucks. So shout out to him. He had a very great game, from what it looks like. And yeah, so moving on. Next thing that's up next up on the agenda. So apparently there's been
We
some
got some.
rumors. I
Mhm.
honestly don't know if they're true. Because I haven't seen much, but apparently there was a couple talks. So the Ravens were apparently looking to move the man himself, Lamar Jackson. And I just
Yeah.
wanna so I kinda wanna I want to compare this to what happened in the last league. In the last league, our boy Jackson, he's the Eagles now. He traded away Lamar Jackson to the Raiders in the last league, and
Mhm.
from what it sounds like, he seemed to regret it later on. Now, obviously, that league didn't go on that much longer after it happened, only a season and a half. But he he seemed to regret it a lot, and it seemed
Yeah.
to help. I played the Raiders when he had Jackson, and it seemed to help the Raiders out a lot. And
Mhm.
when I played the Ravens that year, when he didn't have Jackson, he just seemed he just wasn't nearly as good as he was with Jackson. So I don't know if it would be the best move for him, but I don't even know what team he was even talking with. But Chargers, you got anything, or Colts really?
Yeah. I don't know. Lamar is like one of those players where if he's on your team and you can play well with him, like it's really easy to like just surround an offense and succeed with that. So
Yeah.
I completely understand why Jackson said that he regretted it because it's just someone like you don't want to trade, and he did and
Mhm.
regretted it. So
Yeah.
we
Yep.
got that.
Yeah, I personally, if I had the Ravens, I wouldn't ever move Lamar Jackson. I'm a guy that needs a scrambler, and isn't really a scrambler, but he can get out of the pocket.
Hmm.
I can't have someone that has 70 speed, 70 acceleration, or whatever. I just can't run an offense like that. So
Hmm.
obviously, obviously the Ravens guy, he has a more of a he'll pass the ball mostly than if he has to, he'll get out of the pocket. So for
Right.
him, I think he'd be fine with someone like Joe Burrow who has speed, but it's nothing crazy like Lamar. But because Burrow's accuracy is pretty darn good. But also on the headlines list,
Here, I'll read this one. I'll
yeah,
read
you
this
got
one.
it. Yeah,
hmm The
the
Bengals
Raiders
and
guy.
the, the Bengals and the Chargers are looking to get their O-line in the draft or free agency or trade, as both of their O-line have really screwed their seasons. So yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much IRL too. Bengals need some O linemen,
Yep.
just like this league.
hmm
Completely makes sense.
And to add on to that, the Chargers are reportedly in trade talks with the Bears surrounding Najee Harris, who is
Mm.
the current Chargers backup running back, which is not surprising that the Bears want him since the Bears is an Alabama Crimson Tide
Yeah.
fan.
A very known Alabama fan.
I think he lives in Alabama. He either lives in Alabama or Georgia.
Hmm.
Probably Alabama.
I mean, he sounds like he lives even souther than that.
You can hear that
Florida.
twang.
Florida is
His
the most
accent, if
south
you
in.
haven't heard his accent, it's pretty country or southern.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But I think I don't know if you were done or not, but I think we're gonna move on to
Mm-hmm.
MVP candidates and
Mm.
also just awards in general.
So,
So I'm kind
mm-hmm.
of talk on this a little bit. Honestly, so the top three candidates as of right now for MVP would be Raheem Mostert, as everyone knows, and he's always
Yeah, he's winning it.
An MVP candidate. He gets insane stats every single year, and it kind of carried the Niners to a Super Bowl championship last year. It definitely helped him out a
Hmm.
lot. And then behind him, you have the man Jalen Hurts, controlled by the lemon that is in the party right now.
Yep.
He's had a solid season. His upgrades are just absolutely incredible with how much he ups his throw power every year. Really, he could. I don't know if this is an award or not. I think it is. If not, well, then I just messed up. But if there's a most improved player award, then it would go to him. He gets like 10 throw power upgrades a year. Absolutely incredible. It's unbelievable. But then you have behind him Matt Breida coming from the Dolphins. Pretty solid year over in Miami, especially knowing I haven't looked at the standings, but I know last week the Dolphins were ahead of the Jets, and I believe they still are in
I
the
think they
AFC
are.
East.
I think they hold the tiebreaker.
Yeah, which is crazy. The Jets normally always own the division they're in, and this year or this league it's the AFC East, and he seems to be controlling it. So, can Matt Breida make a big enough case to move up to the top, and can he help take the Dolphins to a AFC championship? And not only that, he'll get a very good seed in the playoffs if that does happen. But not too sure that Hurts can make a run because Mostert's stats are just absolutely
Yeah, no,
just.
he's not.
But moving on, so we're gonna go to the AFC here for Offensive Player of the Year, and the two of the top three MVP candidates are there: Jalen Hurts and Matt Breida. We kind of just explained what it's for. I think Hurts has this one in the bag, honestly.
I agree.
He's had an incredible year too. He's gonna keep producing every week. But Defensive Player of the Year, some different names, and obviously defense isn't always the biggest candidate for MVP. But top three would be Connor Highsmith for the Chiefs, Devin Bush for the Jets, and Justin Reed for the Texans. Honestly, this could go any way, but I don't see Highsmith winning it just because there's no Chiefs user, and obviously that'll mess up his stats and make the Chiefs get a bunch of FLs and make their guys' stats not be as good. So it's either going to be Devin Bush or Justin Reed, so it's looking like it could go either way. Jets have a better record, but that doesn't really take a toll on it. Reed's obviously a great player. I gotta say it would go to Devin Bush, though, because the Jets' defense is very good. As they held me to 24, although 24 is a pretty high score for me. But Offensive Rookie of the Year, I don't think this is a question. It's going to be Miles Brennan. Everybody knows it. If the Raiders guy was in here, he would say the same thing. He's had an
100%.
incredible year. A lot of yards, as Miles be throwing for Miles, and a lot of touchdowns. I think that's not even a question. Defensive Rookie of the Year, it's looking like Connor Highsmith, Devontae Gary, and Danielle Barnett is the top three. I honestly thought Barnett would be higher, but I'd say Devontae Gary probably just, again, Highsmith isn't going to get very good stats. Chargers, you want to do any or you want me to keep going? It doesn't matter. Chargers.
And overboard.
I didn't want to seem like it was just a dictator podcast where I'm just saying.
I could also do them if you really wanted.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't care. I just don't want it to seem that I'm taking up all the stuff from everyone else.
Yeah, I got you. For best QB, top three being Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, and Deshaun. I think universally, I think this one is also pretty known. Jalen Hurts.
Yep.
Best running back, top three, Matt Breida, Antonio Gibson, and Derrick Henry. And these are all some amazing running backs. But considering Matt Breida is in top three for MVP, I think that one's got to go to him.
Yep.
For the receivers, Tyreek Hill, Marquise Brown, and Henry Ruggs are in the top three. And Hollywood or Tyreek, because Tyreek has some pretty
Brown
good.
always has a huge game against me, 200 plus yards. I feel like every time we play, but
Wow. Yeah, that one could go to honestly really any of them in my opinion.
Best so
For
we don't have to talk about it. Let's just skip it.
Yeah, you're right. You want to go to the NFC now?
That's fine. Yeah.
All right, I'll let you take it.
Yep.
I'll look at the NFC since I haven't really done it much in a while.
That's fine.
Oh, and if you keep on wondering why I keep on muting and muting, my dad keeps on asking me to do a couple things. Then
So that's
the 49. To start off, for Offensive Player of the Year, we got Raheem Mostert, who is a god.
Block.
Darius Geis, who is also a god. Christian McCaffrey, also a god. Russell Wilson, an old god. Alvin Kamara, a god. Ezekiel Elliott, a god. DK Metcalf, a god. Tyree Jackson, Chris Carson, Rojo, solid. Then Defensive Player of the Year, we got Deion Jones from the Falcons, Fred Warner from the Niners, Eric Kendricks from the Vikings, Keanu Neal from the Falcons, Davion Taylor from the Eagles, Jalen Smith from the Cowboys, Jamal Dean from the Buccaneers, C.J. Gardner-Johnson from the Saints, Jimmy Ward from the Falcons, Eddie Jackson from the Bears. I don't know what happened there.
Pretty sure
Best
I
quarterback.
throw a controller in the other room, but go ahead.
Best quarterback is the Seahawks. Best running back, Mostert. Wide receiver, Metcalf. O-line, Martin.
Yes, sir.
D-line, Bosa. Linebacker, Deion Jones. D-back, Gardner-Johnson. Kicker, Dustin Hopkins, who is on the Falcons. And that wraps it up for the NFC players.
Sorry, drinking water. Next up on the agenda, let me take a little look. I don't know if we have much left. Oh, yes, so questions, and also I think now's the time where we give Lemon the floor as he is going to list his top 10 after about past halfway through the season, as he hasn't listed one for a good maybe half a season, but you have
I haven't listed one, yeah.
Three quarters through the season.
So, I recently played the Texans, and I revealed that he moved up in the top 4. He is 4th. So, I think it's universally known that Colts, 49ers, and Jets are 1, and I have us all pretty equal, so I have us at 1. And 4, we got Texans, and 5. This one, I wish he was here. Mr. Raiders is number 5.
Yes, sir.
He's always put up a good... Yeah, he's always put up a good fight against me. I respect him. He's definitely number 5.
Yeah.
Now, number 6. This one, he's moved up. Mr. Seahawks goes for number 6. I'm sure he's happy right now, too. And we got... Yeah, there you go. Number 7, we have Saints. He played me in the Super Bowl. Pretty respectable player right there. Yeah, he's definitely number 7. He pretty good passer, and I can respect him. Now, number 8. This might surprise everyone, but I gotta give it to Cowboys. Cowboys at number 8. He played me a few weeks ago, and man, I literally could not stop him. I literally had to have Diggs, my 98 overall X Factor, carry me to win, which does not happen very often. So I have to respect him. Put him at number 8. Now, number 9. This one, a lot of people have him on their, top 10 list. This one's got to go to Dolphins. I think he beat me in overtime one time, and, he had a pretty good defense. I think I was really troubled when I played him, so he's definitely got to go number 9. And number 10 is not Jackson. It is Pat. Got to give it to my man. What he's played me, his defense is always super good. Red zone defense is really good. I always have trouble against him.
Who?
But
the Pats, okay.
Pats, yep. So
interesting.
I always have a little bit of trouble against him, but he's got to go number 10.
Yeah, I'm surprised Titans isn't on there, but see, what I like, though, is when I see these top 10 lists that you or Jets make or whatever, when I see Titans on there or whoever, I know I've beaten the Titans, so that helps me out a little bit. It ups my ego.
I got you.
Pats up there. I only lost him by 1 possession a couple seasons ago. There's a lot of people on there that I've gotten close by. I lost to the Saints guy in the other league by 1 possession, so...
Right.
But
yeah, that should give you a confidence boost, because these are people I've played, and if I'm saying that these players are respectable, then there you go. Yeah, so that's good.
One other thing I want to do before questions, we can review. Actually, has it changed at all? I was about to say we could review the playoff picture, but it really hasn't changed much. So let's look. I didn't realize that the Browns took over the top AFC North spot. Not that
did they?
They did that last week.
That was last week? I never realized that. Wow. But I think we're gonna get into a couple questions now that a lot of people have been waiting for, although they're not. Yeah. So starting off, which is the better conference's Roverhead, the AFC or the NFC? Very
AFC.
good question, honestly.
NFC.
Now,
Because uh, it's definitely changed. It used to always be the AFC. I feel like, but with the additions of Jackson joining the league, the new Falcons guy, just a couple people here and there, the Cowboys guy, it's definitely given the AFC a run for their money, in my opinion.
But I still all right. Now I know I'm in the AFC, but I just gotta say the top 3: 49ers, Jets, Colts. 2 of them are in the AFC, right?
Yeah.
So that should make it pretty clear. You know, Texans is
Look at the top 10.
Texans, I
good.
completely forgot
Yeah.
about the Texans too. They recently
Yeah.
joined and
My
definitely
division.
made an impact on your division and made it
Yeah.
giving you a little bit of a run for your money.
Yeah,
when
my
it comes to
AFC
the
South,
AFC
12-1, 9-4. Titans are 7-6. Even the Jags are 5-8, which is like average. So like, pretty good.
You guys do have the worst division, though.
Oh, we do have what is it? The AFC,
That makes some of your records look better than what they are.
the AFC
Texans,
North. Yeah, the
Titans.
AFC North is pretty
The
bad.
Texans would easily beat you. Anyways, I'm a sign off. I gotta do a few things.
Got it.
I put the rest. Well, I put the other 2 questions in the questions chat. Peace.
Here you go.
Peace out. Wait, I don't know where he posted that. I saw it, but I forgot. Oh, I'll eventually find it. But definitely,
I got it.
Oh, you got it? All right. But definitely great all around for AFC. And I think, like you said, I think when it comes to the better conference, I think the NFC has better depth. I'm saying as if it's
I
on
agree.
the roster. Like they've got more solid players, but the AFC has more like how do I word this? Like
Contenders.
firepower, like contenders
Yeah.
for the Super Bowl. Yeah, just
I completely
How many
agree.
Super Bowls have you won?
The AFC has won
the
I don't think-
49ers won
none.
last season. What was
Not-
the first one? Who won the first one again? I forgot.
It was the
It's
Bucks.
whoever-
Oh, it was also the NFC, but it was the old Bucks user that ended up leaving because he got the new Xbox game.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. So yeah, the NFC that is something taken into account.
They've
But you gotta
that
remember
is true.
That guy did leave. So, but the new Bucks user is good too. He's just having an off year. Because didn't he make it? I think he made it to the NFC Conference Championship last year, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong though.
Who are you talking about?
The new Bucks guy. This last
Oh yeah,
year.
he made it. He made it to the conference championship. Yeah.
Right, yeah. So that definitely helps it out. But overall, you see a lot more contenders from the AFC because obviously you got the Lemon, you got the Rover every year. It's been weird. We haven't seen a Jets Super Bowl appearance yet. But then again, he has to get through you to get there now. Whereas before he would get there, but then he'd have to face you. So it definitely gives him more of a challenge as he's still trying to get his first ever Super Bowl in gridiron. It'll be interesting when it happens because he's lost in a lot, is from what I hear from before I even joined. But
Right,
that was
he
a while
has.
back. But and it is interesting having you guys in the same conference as well because then it's not the same Super Bowl matchup every single year. Obviously, we saw the Bucks guy, we saw the Niners guy last year, and it'll be interesting to see who gets it this year. I think Falcons could be a big contender. The new guy, Seahawks.
I think the Falcons could, yeah.
possibly make a run. They're a little high after beating the Niners.
All those teams in front of me, I've only lost by 1 possession.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1 point.
I'm proud.
But anyways, I think we got a question for. Let me pull it up. Okay.
I got one here.
NFC QBs or AFC QBs, says the Seahawks guy. I I'd have to look actually really quick.
I would probably say AFC QBs just because like Patrick Mahomes,
Patrick
Jalen
Mahomes,
Hurts.
Lamar, Jalen Hurts.
Oh yeah, even Lamar. Yeah,
I'm gonna pull it up here.
Tua's
Even the
pretty good.
Niners don't even have like that good of a QB. It's just that he has Mostert.
Right.
Let's see.
The NFC has Russell Wilson, but
Yeah.
Okay, that's
who
all.
who else do they really have? Yeah, so I'd
Tom
probably
Brady.
say yeah, I'd probably say AFC there.
Damn, our QBs are weak.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Good grief, y'all have a lot of young guys.
What the hell are the NFC QBs?
No one.
Besides mine, and
It's mainly
guess.
just yeah. So
Rodgers, Tyree Jackson.
but Aaron Rodgers ain't playing good.
Well, he's at the top of the stat line.
No, look at his picks.
I
There's only, I think there's only like a few
If
teams.
anyone's ever looking at the stats, don't ever look at my interception stats, just because. Yeah, just don't look at those. Your eyes will hurt if you look at them. So it's in your best interest to not.
you will be pained.
Yeah. Most
There's a lot of people
team,
at interceptions lately.
Most underrated team.
and I'm assuming that he means like by using.
No, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And for me,
I'd put the Cowboys or the Ravens.
I would pick the Cowboys as well. I think he's super underrated. I think come playoffs, if he makes it, I think he could really scare a lot of teams there.
Cowboys definitely. I think the old Jags guy that just left not too long ago was very underrated in my opinion. Who else? Also got.
Oh, the Bucks are like low right now, and I know they made the conference championship last year, but they're pretty low, so I think they could be a bit underrated.
I think Titans can be a bit underrated as well at times.
At times. See, the thing about Titans is when he's hot, but when he's cold, he's very cold.
When he's hot. When he's not, he's not.
Yep, exactly. That well said.
Bears are a little underrated. I lost to them last year, but it was pretty upsetting. I only lost them by 3 though. So, who else? Who else? Raiders guy at times could also be underrated. I personally probably underrate him at times as well. Oh, the Broncos.
Wait, I hear when Broncos plays, he's pretty good.
Yeah, I lost him by
But
2 possessions. He is pretty good.
I
He
don't know if I've played him.
doesn't have a record to show for it.
And I think the Pats' record of 4-9 right now is pretty deceiving because he's been a playoff contender a couple times.
Who would y'all put at the most overrated?
The most overrated? That's a good question.
People would say the Lemon himself, but I think you're pretty solid.
I'd put the Skins.
Oh yeah, the Skins.
Skins, yeah.
I think they're okay at where they are, but I personally would say the Eagles are pretty overrated because they get a lot of wins in the regular season, but I know we've mentioned it time and time again, but playoff success is not really there.
Nope. I think you gotta have playoff success if you want some legacy.
Yeah, I want some respect. I gotta get that.
I have more 8-8 seasons than he does have playoff.
You could arguably say the Niners is overrated just because of his team that he has.
Maybe, yeah. Mustard carries the rock, literally. I think that's
not really many overrated.
Yeah.
There's more underrated than there is overrated.
I agree, because the good players are like generally known and they're pretty rated. They're rated pretty like realistically, but there are some underrated players that will scare you every now and then.
I remember when I used to suck. Still went 8-8.
We can get to a couple more. We're only like 32 minutes in, so we can get to a couple more.
Got you.
So, which conference wideouts are better?
Some wide receivers.
NFC.
Receiving. So, for the NFC, you've got a lot of firepower. DK, obviously. Julio Jones.
The GOAT.
Jalen Reagor. Debo Samuel. Scotty Miller.
Oh,
Brandon
yeah.
Ayuk. I don't know how to
Mike
pronounce
Evans.
it.
Ayuk.
Justin Jefferson. A lot of great receivers there. And then I look
Yeah,
at
I'd
the
say that.
AFC.
I'd
There
say
is
the
a lot of
NFC.
fast receivers on the AFC, though. You got Tyreek Hill. One of the more underrated receivers, Hardman on the Chiefs. He always burns my guys. Henry Ruggs, as the greatest guy would say if he was here. Hollywood Brown. There's a lot. I don't know. I feel like I'm being a little biased, but I feel like the AFC does have better receivers in my opinion.
You sure?
I'd say I'd say the NFC.
It's close.
They have some good wide receivers.
It's definitely close.
I think honestly DK Metcalf alone makes the NFC
I
better.
got the best receiver in the league.
Yeah, because DK is really good, and the old Chiefs user cheesed to get Tyreek Hill
Yeah.
like all those stats. So if you just ignore Tyreek Hill, the rest of the AFC is just not even close to what the NFC is. Yeah, so for that one, I'd definitely say the NFC.
Yeah, it could be NFC. It could go either way, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
What else we got here? Which conference there has the best running backs?
Rest running backs.
NFC first reaction to NFC just because of
Oh yeah, because of Mostert. Yeah,
with the
I'd probably
depth,
say.
I'll tell you what, it's solid depth for the AFC though. Breedino is the front runner. Gibson. Then you have Jonathan Taylor, Marlon Mack, Joe Mixon, my boy, and Derrick Henry. When it comes to, if you take Mostert out of the picture, I think it's very close. But just because of Mostert and all the stats he's got and all the ratings he's got, you got to give it to the NFC.
NFC, yeah, it's the same thing with like Tyreek Hill. Like if you ignore Tyreek Hill, I think, yeah. So I that's a good point. I think the AFC depth is pretty good, and then the NFC is just they got the front runners.
It's okay.
Yeah.
My Chris Carson got 1,000 yards.
Seahawks Caesar says rank the divisions. Ooh.
Yeah. That's a good one.
I hate to say it, we're probably in last.
No, you are.
Hold on,
We're
let
having an
me
off year
put
this
this
year.
up.
Normally we have at least one team, sometimes two teams with a winning record. That sounds.
If
so
someone
bad.
in your division goes to the playoffs at 7-9, I'm gonna cry.
I mean, it happened IRL. But
Okay, hold up. So I think number 8 has to go to the AFC North.
Yep, unfortunately.
Unfortunate for you, yeah.
We'll eventually get better. The
Hopefully
Ravens
you
guy's
do.
having an off year. The Browns guy seems to be good. He's just losing a couple games. Me and the Steelers are way better than our record shows. We've just had an off year. I think my best record in gridiron has been 9-7. So I just got to get back to those days. But
I think the next one would be the NFC North.
I agree.
Say the North.
Yeah,
the
I think
Packers aren't that
7
good.
7 has got to go to the NFC North. I completely agree.
Bears, it's kind of like the AFC North, honestly. The Bears kind of carry the division, kind of like how the Ravens do for the AFC North.
Yeah, I think
normally the Ravens do anyways. Obviously this year it's been a little different, but Packers still fighting a little bit for that first place spot. But other than
I don't know
the
the
Bears, there's not
picks.
really many good teams.
let's check it out.
I think. I hate to say it, but it would probably have to be the AFC West.
I agree. Yeah, number 6 has got to go to the AFC West.
Is very good, but Chiefs guy isn't there anymore. Even though he kind of cheesed. And then the Broncos guy, I think they're a solid division. It's just that their record doesn't show it, kind of.
Yeah, AFC West has got to be number 6, but the top 5 is kind of difficult.
Yeah, because all of them are good, really. Obviously, this AFC for the front runners: AFC South, NFC East, NFC West. A lot of them, I think. So number 5.
Number 5, I'd probably say the. Actually, that's tough.
Maybe the.
I don't know.
I was just gonna
NFC
say.
South.
I was gonna say that as well. So
Yeah.
Great teams, honestly.
They have
all
good
4 of
teams,
them. They're
but
just,
like,
the Bucks are having an off year.
yeah, if the Bucks were having a good year, I'd put them higher.
Yep. So
But I agree.
that would leave the top 4 being the AFC East, AFC South, and the NFC East and NFC West.
I think you put the NFC West or the AFC East at number 4.
Yeah, I think number 4 needs to be
NFC West, I think.
NFC West as well, just because of the
Niners
depth.
and the Seahawks are good.
Niners and Seahawks are really good, but
And
the Rams,
the Cards are good. They're having a
The
bit of
Cards,
off year.
they're just having off.
But the Rams.
But when you look at the record and they're 2-11,
I don't know what's wrong with the Rams right now.
the Rams used to be very good. Like they made the playoffs a couple years ago in the other league. They just haven't been pulling together any wins, and the Cards have just mostly had an off year.
Inconsistent now.
Very inconsistent.
Top 3 is where it gets tough. And I'm gonna get so much hate for this, but I think
You could put the number 1.
Number 3 would be the NFC East.
I agree, and it's only because of I think the football team has a higher record than they maybe should because of all the free wins, and then also the lack of playoff success and having a 1-13 team.
Yeah,
I guess that would
NFC
make
East
sense.
wins in the playoffs in the years, but that would leave the top 2 being the AFC East and the AFC South. So let's go AFC.
AFC East number 2.
Honestly,
I would put
I'd have
AFC
to
East
put
number 2.
AFC East number 2. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Very great division.
And yeah, so obviously you have the Jets,
yep.
and you have the Dolphins.
Who are still ahead of the Jets, which is crazy.
Yeah,
and then
it
the Pats,
is.
who are better than their record shows.
But yeah, so the same thing like we've said before, the Pats record, just like the Bucks, is
kind of drags it down.
just very down. But
Yep.
we know that they are good. So
yeah, and then that leaves number 1 for the AFC South. Lemons over there
Yep.
going crazy.
Yep.
Colts always the front runner, but the Texans did kind of give you a run for your money this year. I think you're clinched, but Titans are also very good. They're just in a very tough division.
Right.
And and then the old Jags guy was very good, but again, tough division.
Right. And yes, I think for my division, just being the front runner is just obviously you got me, but then the Texans, I beat him by 2, and if that doesn't say like that he's a good player, then I don't know what to say. So I think just combine him with me as well as the Titans, who have always, been good, always made the playoffs, can beat good teams like the Jets. I'd say that makes us a really good division.
Yeah. Next
overall.
You kind of asked this, Lemon. Which players have had the best improvement with overall devs and stuff from day one? And this could go anywhere, really. There's so many players. I think it obviously has to go to Jalen Hurts. I mean, I honestly don't think there's much of a question. The dude went from like a 72 overall to I don't even know what he is right now, but the dude is crazy.
Currently, he is...
I think there is a little bit of luck involved with it, the amount of throw power upgrades that you got and stuff.
Yeah, so I made sure to upgrade his strong arm attribute every time, and in doing so, he now has 93 throw power, which is just
unbelievable.
Unbelievable, yeah. So he's an 89 overall strong arm, and yeah, he's very good. 24 years old, X Factor, and he was like a 72 normal when he started, but he did get the superstar from the original Eagles, which definitely helped him. But I would say James Morgan. And that's just because, the Jets is the Jets, man. That dude has a lab.
He's related to Bill Belichick.
He really is, yeah.
And of course, it's kind of biased, but I also think Ross has upgraded a lot. But that's kind of...
Oh, yeah, let me check him out.
Always upgrade him really well. I'm going to end up changing his X Factor. I don't know why I have double me on him, but...
double me.
I think he started out as like a 74 normal. Obviously, I used my SS on him, and he's up to it. I got his breakout a couple weeks ago.
Wow, yeah, he's an X Factor 88. So yeah, that's a huge improvement.
Did you 74? Obviously, that's a little biased, but
no, yeah, I think that's solid. That's really good.
Do you see the next new question? Who do you think will be good next season that had a bad record this season?
Ooh,
that's a good question. I would put the Cardinals.
The Bucks, the Cards, the Pats are 3 front runners, kind of.
I'd put the Cardinals, Pats,
and
Rams.
I'd like to say me.
I'd say the Bucks, if they can play all their games and do that. I think they could be good.
Yeah.
again. Yeah, I think the Pats could definitely rebound. If the Cardinals can get their slump over with, I think they could be good.
Yeah.
I put the Rams up there.
And the Bengals, man, I think you guys could be good if you just limit your turnovers,
Yep.
do that,
Picks
and
have
you guys
killed
could
me
be
this
good.
year. That's just a big
Yeah.
thing.
And the Rams, like we've said before, has been good before. Like, we don't know what's happening with them. Yeah.
It's been in a slump for a couple years now. It's not just like a 1 year thing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of course, 6-10. I went 6-10 the last 2 years. Of course, that's not a good record, but it's not a bad record. Like 3-13, like how I am right now. But,
Right.
I'm looking to get back to those glory days. Of course, I never won a Super Bowl, so I don't know why I said glory days. But
Mm-hmm.
who else has upgraded a lot? I'm trying to look through each team.
Oh, yeah, with the past question. Who has upgraded a lot? I think a lot of the players that have upgraded have had, like, good devs. The only one that I can really consider, like, actually... Although, no, James Morgan did have the superstar put on him. But still, he went from, like, a 65 to, what, like a 90-something right now?
Mm-hmm.
Which is just ridiculous.
I would say DK Metcalf went up 10 overall.
Oh, yeah, DK has had a good...
Yeah.
He had
He's
a
good.
superstar.
Matt Breida is another one.
Oh, yeah.
Matt Breida is an 88 overall X Factor now. He starts, I know, pretty low.
Did y'all already say Tua?
Oh, no, he didn't say Tua. Tua's another good one, yeah, from the Dolphins. He's a 91 overall superstar right now. 24 years old, yeah, wow. He's a good one.
Oh, Travis Etienne as well. He's gone up to
Oh,
like
what's he at?
overall.
Already.
He's on the cards because I think the Niners dealt him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's an 86 now already. After 1 year, wow.
Wasn't he like, I think he started at like a 77, right? I can't exactly remember.
Something around there, yeah, so that's a pretty good improvement. That's really good.
Best rookie.
Buda Baker on the cards is a 96, wow. I don't know what he starts out as, but that's high.
My boy coming out of Wahoo Wild Nation, Juan Thornhill, as a X Factor on the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah.
He's upgraded a lot.
Yeah, wow.
I don't know what
Juan
this guy's
Thornhill.
starting overall was, but my boy Derek Nottie from the Chiefs as well, 84 overall. I don't know what his starting one was. But I've met him before.
Nottie.
My dad used to work with his brother.
Wow, that's a flex. That's cool.
Yep, small flex.
Let me see if someone I've met before. Hold on. Let me see if he's still there. Yeah, Mr. James Bradbury, 87 overall. I've met him. I'm so glad he has had his breakout year in IRL.
Yep.
He's a lockdown, dude. He's great.
Yeah.
Met him in Carolina. Darius Slayton, whoa.
I met Cam.
He's in. Oh, you met Cam, dang.
I love Cam Newton.
That's nice. He was so fun
Cam
to
is pretty
watch
cool.
back in his MVP days. He's just not that anymore.
Yeah, I miss watching him, man. He was cool. All those injuries, all that
Really
stuff
good.
happened, man.
If he didn't have any
That's what
bumps,
for
if
a
he
lot
didn't
of,
have
there's
the
just some
bumps.
players in the league where once they get one big injury, then they're pretty much done with their career, like RG3, Cam Newton, obviously.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
but
I think
like-
the coaches really held Cam back too, because if they just let him be Cam, I think he really could have been better right now. But they didn't let him play his play style, you know.
No, yeah.
And I think that really held him back.
I'm surprised he hasn't been cut yet.
Yeah, I know he's not playing the best right now.
Cam Newton has to be one of the hardest quarterbacks to use in Madden. I can't ever use him.
I don't think
seems to be inaccurate. I think his acceleration and speed rating is lower than it should be, but he's very hard to use.
He's a beast. Wow, another person, Antonio Gibson. Oh my goodness, 97 overall X Factor.
Forget about that.
Or Mims is another one I know too.
Oh, yeah.
He's an 88 overall X Factor.
I think
Those are some
Rager's
beasts.
upgraded a lot as well. The Pittsburgh Steelers ask, who is the best rookie?
Best rookie.
So basically, rookie of the year.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna think.
I'll go look at that.
I don't know. None of my rookies are ever good. They're always good the sophomore
I
year.
mean, Marco
Oh.
Burrell was pretty solid for me, but he's an OL. He's not gonna get Rookie of the Year.
Best rookie. Oh, I'd probably have to say Miles Brennan has obviously been really good.
Yeah, I completely forgot about him. Yeah,
And then
Brennan.
who else can really compete with him?
Let's see.
I mean, Brian Batten from the Eagles is good, but like when you compare him to the starting Raiders quarterback, I don't really think.
Yeah.
A lot of
You
interceptions from this season.
I'm not seeing many people that would compare to Miles Brennan.
Yeah, I'd say Miles Brennan's probably the best rookie. And even just considering he's a 69 overall and he's doing what he's doing right now, yeah.
Very well. He's able to manipulate him pretty well.
Another question. We got most overrated player. So who's got a high overall, maybe, that we think?
That plays
or yeah.
I think Morgan might be a little overrated just because of the way he's built.
Oh yeah, I agree. He's literally just a brick. That man cannot move.
Not much else.
Yeah, I think he's a good one. I know Hopkins. Does Hopkins have any good stats right now? I'll check that out.
I'm not exactly sure, but when I use him in just online ranks or whatever, he's very good. But I don't know about the actual league itself.
I just know that Cardinals has struggled to have a use for him. I think he's actually going to be trading him this offseason.
Yeah, that's right. I did see that he was talking trades with the Pats about moving.
Yeah, Hopkins is behind Andy Isabella on the receiving yard list. Andy Isabella has 605 and DeAndre has 522. Oh. And considering DeAndre Hopkins is a 99 overall X Factor, I'd say that's pretty overrated in my opinion.
Yep, that actually is. Never saw that.
Yeah, so I definitely say he's pretty overrated.
Yeah.
I think Clyde. Wait, no. I think Hilaire is pretty good, right? I don't know, actually. Clyde Edwards-Hilaire is pretty overrated.
Yeah. He was getting so much hype at the beginning of the season IRL as well.
Yeah, and he was doing good, and then he just kind of fell off, I think.
I think everyone kind of forgot about him as well.
Mm-hmm.
He was being like top 10 picks in like fantasy drafts, and he was a rookie, which is pretty.
I know. I don't know what people were doing with that. I don't know what they thought.
I want to see them play before I draft him. Which
and even just knowing that
next year,
I think people just picked him knowing that he's on the Chiefs. But if I'm like thinking that, I'm just like, man, you have Patrick Mahomes, you have Tyreek Hill, you have Travis Kelce. Hardman,
literally
like
anybody.
Even other running backs. Like I just feel like there's just so many players on that team that can just have more reps than he can. So yeah.
DK's a 99.
DK is a 99.
I just got it.
He's a beast.
98 speed now.
Yeah, he is. I wish I had him. Diggs has been pretty good.
I have a bad addiction when it comes to upgrading John Ross. I'm addicted to trying to get his speed up when really I should be getting his physical thing up.
Yeah.
That's what my physical is 99.
My physical is like a 74 or something like that. I want to build it up more, but I keep trying to get his speed to 99. He's at like 97 right now.
Yeah, I always balance out my upgrades when doing stuff. Because I don't want just like a one trick, you know. I just want.
Considering that his physical is 74, every once in a while he is able to pull a pretty solid Moss. I am pretty impressed by it, considering he's a fast receiver. But. Well, how long have we gone? Let's see. We have gone 54 minutes. That's actually pretty
nice. And I have one last question to end it off if you want.
Go ahead.
This was the funniest ban in league history.
I Ooh, I did see that.
I definitely can think of one. I know Jackson can too. And it was I can't remember what year it was in or what league. I think it was either Madden 20 or the first Madden 21 we had. And a guy joins, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he immediately just picks a team, and we're like, okay, cool, like read the rules, do all that, normal stuff.
Yep.
And just immediately goes to our news channel and asks if he can interview people. And we're like, okay, interesting. And we start interviewing, and he's being himself, he's interviewing us. And then when we ask him to play, he doesn't want to play. And he's just like, oh, I'm just here to interview you guys. We're like, huh? So, of course, we have to hand him the band hammer after that.
Give him the band hammer.
Yeah, the whole point of our Madden League is to actually play games.
Not be a news reporter, unless you're retired from the league. You stay
right.
a news reporter.
Or
if you want to just be a news reporter and not be in the league, just be in the server to be a news reporter. You gotta at least stay in the league for a little bit and get your respect up there. But
right, and or you could do like what we're doing now. You guys have your podcast, but you're still playing your games, right? Mm-hmm. Still thriving in the league. But yeah, I'd say that's a funny band.
I don't know if I could think. When I was actually here.
Yeah, I don't know another band.
I think a little later on, not too much later, but for when it came to Madden 21.
Oh, I do think another funny band was the Giants that was here that said that man was whack. Let me pull up his DMs really quick if I can figure out. He was the person that said he's ran like a league for 10 years. Here he is.
I think I remember that.
His name was Philly 52 Special. And he argued so much because he had like the number 3 overall pick, and he's the one that like originally influenced us to do the whole draft thing where we make some of the top players a little better, just so we can all like improve our players, right, and have an enjoyable draft. But he said that we should have like X factors and like all that, and mainly it was so obvious that he was just trying to get a more worth for his number 3 overall pick. And yeah, he said, hold up. People.
Even if I had a like the number 1 pick, I don't think you should put too many X factors in there. You got to be able to find them yourself.
Right. He said...
Some people may not know this. Me and the Lemon have secrets that nobody else knows, but go ahead.
Yeah, he was saying like the thing that we were doing that we made specifically for him, right, where we get some early and mid first round talents and give them star and superstar. He says that was like the dumbest thing ever, and he was like, "Oh, they need to be X factors," blah, blah, blah. Like, and he's just getting all mad. And then he just always complaining. And then I just remember the time that we banned him was when he was like talking all trash, right? And then he just goes, "Oh, and Jets, like, no one likes you. Oh, everyone hates you." And I was just like, all right, yep, you're done, bro. Like,
give him the hammer.
Pack your bags. Yeah, we gave him the hammer. I think Me6 sold me, and it didn't work when I banned him. But yeah, we ended up kicking him after that. Like, he was a bozo.
I think I remember him. I might be wrong.
Yeah.
Was he the first league or this league?
It was this league. It was this.
I thought it was this league.
It was the end of last season when he joined. And just had like a high pick, so yeah, that was him. Now we got Coach back. So glad that we got Coach back at the Giants. And yeah, that's about it for the funniest bands.
Yeah, I can't really think of much. I just remember instances where the second people join right off the bat, they have a problem with the rules or whatever. And that's only like bands that were actually somewhat interesting. It is. I'll tell you what. When it's like you or Roverhead or whoever is in, or when someone first joins and y'all are like talking with him and you guys start getting into arguments, I tell him to just chill out. But in reality, I'm just watching it, eating popcorn. I'm loving it.
Mm-hmm.
It's entertaining. Or when the Chiefs with cheese and Rover would have problems with it.
I know.
Enjoy watching those. Now, of course, I don't want it to happen. Like, I'm not trying to get this league to end up
I
like the
know,
last
but-
league at the end of it, but it's pretty
Yeah.
funny.
It is, yeah. Like when people are just attacking each other, it is pretty funny.
But I don't think we have anything else on the agenda. I think that's gonna wrap it up.
Yeah,
We
I think we're
went,
good.
An hour. We just hit an hour actually, so that's
Nice.
a good time. I know
Yeah.
at one point it was like the 30-minute mark. We ran out of stuff, so we started going to questions. So that's pretty good.
It was useful,
but-
yeah.
Charges obviously left early, but if he was here, I'd say thanks for coming on or whatever. But thank you,
Mhm.
Mr. Lemon, for coming on, giving us someone to be on this, because obviously the Raiders guy was out, and if
Right.
it was just me and the Chargers, it would have been me by myself at one point. So we appreciate it.
Mhm.
It's fun talking.
Yeah,
about
thanks for
top
having me,
list.
dude. I love it. Love this league. I like it. Once I said like at the beginning, I love this idea of the podcast, man. I think some great things are gonna be coming. And yeah, thank you for having me.
Yep, and thank you for listening, whoever you are behind your computer or phone. And we'll see y'all next time. Peace out.
Peace.